Hi everyone, this is my review of Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I'm going to go ahead and say there are going to be some spoilers in this video, probably not all that bad, but if you haven't read it, I really wouldn't suggest staying here. So, if you haven't read it, go away, pick it up, read it. Seriously, do it. Just do it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Just go read it, then come back so we can talk about it. Okay, so here we go. I thought this was truly amazing. I'm gonna give a little synopsis for people. If you're still here and you haven't read it, let me give you a little synopsis, then go. So this is about a girl named Georgie and her husband Neil. And they are having some trouble with their marriage, like fighting and not being able to get along or agree or anything. So, Georgie is the writer of like a television show, like for scripts and stuff. And so she gets a big opportunity at work for a big show. But it's also coming up for Christmas. And she and Neil and her two kids, Alice and Numi, her name is Naomi, but they call her Numi, we're gonna go visit Neil's parents for Christmas over in Omaha. Well, Georgie decides to stay behind because of the big opportunity she's getting at work, so Neil takes the kids over to Omaha. And while Georgie didn't go, she's feeling kind of guilty and she feels terrible because she's not able to get a hold of Neil all that much. And when she does, they're just like, okay, love you, bye, kind of thing on the phone. Well, she goes to live for a couple days with her mom, and in the same place she is. Where is this? I don't know. I'm not in Omaha with Georgie's mom. Because she doesn't want to go home to an empty house. She stays there with her mom, her stepdad, and her sister, Heather. So they, just because she don't want to go home to an empty house. While she's there, Georgie stays in her old childhood room, and she sees an old yellow rotary phone, like a rotating. They said rotary, but it means rotating. A landline, a yellow landline. This thing. And she decides to call Neil from that because she's having trouble with her cell phone. Well, she gets Neil's younger self on the line, and she's able to work it through. So that's all I'm going to say with no spoilers. Okay, bye now. Hi everyone, if you've read this, let's talk. If you read this and didn't like it, how was that even possible? All the characters I loved. Georgie, I thought she was so awesome. She was really cool. And here's how I pictured her. She has glasses and blonde hair. If any of you watch my favorite show, Parks and Recreation, the comedy show, or if you've even heard of it, if you see any characters, oh my god. If you see any characters, one of the characters in there, Leslie Knope, she has blonde hair and all that. That's who I imagine Georgie. If they make a movie, Leslie Knope. I don't know the actress. No, Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler. Do you know who that is? I'm pretty sure she's like a thing. If you know who Amy Poehler is, that's who I imagine as Georgie. And I thought Georgie, her name was Georgie McCool. How cool is that? And everybody was like, I thought that was a pen name. And I'm like, no, that's just awesome. And I thought her problem with Neil, now this is an adult book, and I really wasn't aware of that. And I am glad that I wasn't aware of that, and I can tell you why. Because if I was aware that it was an adult book, that would mean awful, continuous, horrible profanity and awful, continuous, gross, inappropriate scenes that no one should be reading, not even an adult. But there was such a lack of that. Sure, there was curse words, way too many F-bombs, Rainbow Rowell. Stop that. But there were not that many other cuss words. There were not that many curse words, at all. Which was good, but I don't support any. Just I'm actually going to make a video about that, about cursing in books. I hate it. Also, since their marriage was kind of messed up, there wasn't all that much inappropriate stuff, except flashbacks and stuff, but even that wasn't that bad, and it was short. That's what made me glad. This is an adult book, but young adults are reading, and they're able to because, she didn't lose her mind and go all adult on book, And I flipped through, I've never read anything by Rainbow Rowell, and I was flipping through Eleanor and Park, and I'm like, ooh, what's this about? Who's this author? And I saw so many curse words, I'm like, nope, not gonna. So the first book I read by her was an adult book, and there was less curse words in it seemed than her teen books. Not good. But Rainbow Rowell, your book was amazing. I loved the characters, like I was saying. I thought Neil, I thought their relationship, even though it was broken, you could still tell deep, 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 even if I had to be way deep down, that they did love each other and that they did, you know, they could talk with each other, and they loved their kids. Alice and Numi, they took care of them and they loved them, and I love that even though their marriage wasn't working out, they still paid attention and loved on their kids, because sometimes that doesn't happen. Like, you're so, even if it's not on purpose, if you're so caught up in your marriage being awful, then you kind of neglect your kids just to deal with the state of mind that you're in. But I thought their relationship with their kids was really good, and I loved Seth. He needed a bar of soap to the mouth. Stop cussing, Seth. But I thought he was awesome. Like, a mix between I died laughing when Georgie said that he made a face that was a mix between an Abercrombie model and a kitten. I just got my picture in my mind, like, oh, I love Seth. He was a funny character, an awesome character, and I think he did a lot to the story, and I think he did a lot for Georgie to have someone to lean on. Maybe not tell everything, but see, that's the thing that a true friend is. You don't have to tell them something's wrong. They can know what's wrong, and they can know what it is. They can know that you're sad. So then Scotty, I don't approve of the, relationship situation with him. But, he was kind of just a funny character that was, like, there. But, like, these are some of my favorite characters. Sometimes there are characters in books that I just want to smack upside the head several times. America Singer. But, and it was such a beautiful book too. And even though I felt like the characters in their hearts, Neil and Georgie, were kind of damaged, in a young adult book they would have been like that, and then at the end they would have been, oh, I love you, and dying. And this, the ending, the payoff wasn't that lovey-dovey and miraculous. I mean, sure, they stopped their fighting and they stopped, like, hating each other, but it was realistic, is I guess what I'm trying to say, because it didn't, like, oh, I love you, no, I love you more, you're the best, blah blah. They were like, I love you. And I'm like, I promise I'm gonna get along. That's what a good wife would say. I promise it's gonna be better, or something like that. So the payoff wasn't all that excellent, but it was solved and it was realistic, and that's what I like. This was an altogether realistic book. There's really realistic characters and realistic problems. Not monsters fighting Times Square, but someone who's having trouble with her marriage. That was completely realistic, completely awesome, and dealt with perfectly, because even though I'm, 14 and I've never even dated anyone, I felt Georgie's pain, like, dang it, not working out with my husband right about now, So it was so good. And when I did not like what happened with Heather and then the pizza girl. That was not okay. It's not okay. People are like, diversity, Bible. But, I liked Heather as a character. I thought she was cool. And I was really grossed out with the puppy thing, how they had to, like, help the puppy. It was like, I don't like dogs. They freak me out. Like, I'm scared of dogs. I think, like, they're cute. Like, I love pugs. I think they're really cute, but I'm like, get away from me. If you're a dog, I don't want you near me. But it was gross. But she had puppies, yay. And I thought it was really funny how Georgie had to keep borrowing her mom's clothes, even though she, like, completely had a different style. But I don't even know how to explain how much I loved this. Like, I'm trying to look. And I also thought it was really sweet. And even though they're not religious, I thought, being my Christian mind, I felt kind of like Georgie was, being a Christianly wife whenever she said, don't worry about Seth, we're just friends. And she said, there's nothing I can do about that. We're always going to be friends. But there's no reason for you to be jealous because there's nothing ever going to be going on. I felt like that was a really, faithful thing to say, that she was faithful to her husband and that she loved her husband. And such a good book. It'd be really, I'm going to totally reread this at Christmas time just because, like, she trudged through the snow to get there. So read this if you haven't. Go check out my little review on Goodreads. It's not that long, but I loved it so much, and this cover is beautiful. And look. Oh, what? so thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you Rainbow Rowell for such an amazing book. It is one of my new favorites. Thank you. Bye.